tonight's post-match press conference with Austin FC head coach Josh Wolff. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach before we take questions. Josh?
It was. I feel like it was an entertaining game. I feel both teams pushed each other, and I think as the game went on, I think we flexed our muscle and really showed we could cause problems. I think similar ideas of how we want to play, a little bit different way of going about it. But, I thought we started the game well, pretty aggressive. The first half we could have been a bit better with our intentions and the purposefulness of how we wanted to finish actions. Dallas was pretty vertical and got a couple chances in that manner, maybe one or two in transition. But it was probably right to be even at half, and then I think we gift wrapped 2 goals for them, and they take advantage of them. Obviously, giveaways that were poor in poor areas of the field we got punished for, but to see what our group is, and again having the memories of what last year looked like here, and seeing what they look like today, it's night and day, and it's a fantastic ride and journey to have been part of it and watch these guys develop and take it in, and their camaraderie, their resiliency, their guts, and also just the intellect to stay calm and now know what's needed. And obviously we got to push for the goals, but it shows real grit, real determination, and this team has shown that from the start this year. So really pleased with our ability to deal with the adversity and push through it. I think there's plenty of positives for us tonight. Really, really good job in a lot of areas. We minimized a very good team on the ball. We put them under a lot of pressure and put them under significant stress at the end of the game, where we should have probably come away with the win. But we'll move on. The point is taken, and we'll start to focus on Charlotte. But I think we did a decent job tonight. Probably a little unlucky to not get 3 points.
We'll take questions. Just do me a favor and please wait for the microphone. Chris, you go ahead. Start us off.
Yeah, Josh, what did it mean to get a result against Dallas? I mean, I know they kind of took it to you guys last year, and even being down 2-0 in this game, what did it mean to claw this one back?
I think it means a lot to our guys. Hopefully, it continues to demonstrate and illustrate what we are, who we are, and we caused them problems. We really did. And when you take the ball away from them, you take control away from an opponent like that, they feel it, and they didn't find a way back in. They really didn't. We gave them 2 goals, and against good teams, when you give those opportunities, they're going to take them. But the steel that we showed and the desire that we showed was awesome. It was awesome. And the subs that came in performed extremely well. The starters did a good job as well, but it was a matter of being a little bit more, again, intentional about how we wanted to score the goals, what we wanted it to look like. And the end of the game, it can get a little bit chaotic, but it was there. Our guys deserved it, and again, I'd say we had very large stretches of control of this game, and that's, from a coaching standpoint, that to me is what soccer should look like.
You kind of touched on it there, but what is it about those moments with this team where, whether it's a red card like last week or, going down a goal, it seems like you guys kind of just stick with the game, what the game's giving you, and you're able to make the big plays in the moments when you need to.
I think it's a testament to our guys. There's a belief, a believability. There's a commitment to what we've been doing and talking about. Again, we brought in a sports psychologist this year, and Hillary. She's with us, tonight. She's been with us a lot, and you dig deep and you talk to a lot of guys, and you build this culture from the inside. And when you have tough moments, they don't affect you like they did maybe last year when there's a little bit of disconnect or everybody's not bought in. Everybody's bought in, and a lot of that's come about by some of the players we brought in, the leadership, but we support that as a staff, and the players have taken that organically on their own as well. So when tough moments come, they know exactly what's needed, and tucking and running is not something that's going to happen. We find ways to find solutions, and today again we found our way back in.
Josh, Musa looks like 6 handfuls when he's got a head of steam coming down. And he also had a chance there to tie it and didn't make good contact. How would you just assess where he's at in terms of developing into someone who you can rely on to be dangerous in times like these?
Yeah, I think you see real clearly, not just from the physical standpoint, his ability to bring other players in, and then in and around the box. I mean, he's dangerous. A little bit more calm on maybe the chance that falls to him, but again, against Montreal, what the game needed, he came in and gave us brute force, positioning, physicality. And that allows guys like Sebastian and Diego and others that are in and around him to get underneath the ball or now to start advancing into the attack. But I think it's been a difficult stretch for him. I think, he's in a much better place now. I think he's better understanding of what we're doing. I think the trip to Montreal was nice. He was around more French-speaking people, and you saw a different life and energy. And even when he was celebrating the goal there, I mean, we look at all these things, and again, he's got a few touch points inside the locker room, and we're trying to make that better for him. But I think he's coming along well. We need more minutes like tonight, and we're going to get a congested schedule. Some guys are going to see minutes, so I expect him to be part of it. But another good showing. Him and Danny came in and did a great job. Exactly what we needed.
And then Sebastian today, more than you really seemed willing to put his body into into some of his play. He seemed to have a fire in him, especially in that second half. What did you see from him, maybe, and how his level rose as the game went on?
Yeah, he's a leader. I mean, it's very clear he's a big leader on this team, and sometimes it's with his voice, but most times it's with his effort, his commitment. He takes a beating out there. Again, it was 20 fouls to 10. We got 3 yellows. They got 1 late. To me, protecting our players. Velasco got fouled a couple times, and we're getting straight yellows. I think it's silly. I think it's absolutely silly. The kid takes a beating out there. He's hands down the best player on the field, and again, rewarded with a goal, and a big part of how we can turn this around. He doesn't get fazed. He stays calm and understands how influential he can be. We worked on today being in a little bit more of one side and trying to create overloads, and as we did that, and he had success with that, it brought him into the game in a good space, and then as the game went on, he was able to be a little bit more impactful. But we needed a performance like that from him. He was solid.
And then just real quick, they had your guys' number last year. They got better this year too. They added talent, and so you guys have clearly closed that gap. What does it say about how much improved this team is compared to these times last year?
Yeah, I think we've talked about it a lot this year already. I like where we're going. I showed these guys some video and some things before the game, and we're not there yet. We're not where we want to be and where we expect to be at the end of the year, but I sure as hell like where we're going. It's a testament to the work they put in, the commitment to one another, and it's knowing that this is a 34-game journey, and we're almost at the halfway point, and we're doing some things well. We got to keep pushing, keep grinding, and would have liked to get all 3 points tonight, but it says a lot about where we're at.
So a little bit of a vintage Quakes connection there with Lima to Hosen. Just kind of curious about their insertion about, putting both of them in the game, and just kind of, obviously that worked out.
Yeah, I think we needed, our assistant coaches did a great job, Nolan, Davey, and Roddy, of putting together some ideas of some of the changes that we could make. Now we had them up against the ropes. We knew we could possess the ball, and now getting Danny and Musa in there, getting 2 good bodies that can score goals. Sebastian having a little bit more freedom to move wherever he needed. And then with Z and Nicky having some freshness to be able to serve balls. We make our fullback subs quite often, and they give us, for us, it gives us offense, it gives us crossing, it gives us calm and overload. So good to see those guys contribute, and any connection at that point's making me happy. But it was nice that Nicky delivered something for Johnny there, or for Danny there, and Danny took it well.
And then what are the plans for Danny? It was just the 1 game, right? So he'll be back?
I believe that's right.
John Gallagher was pretty active, especially in the first half, the way Dallas came out. I guess, is he further cementing kind of his role outside back? Like, how has he kind of grown in that position?
I think he's grown tremendously, and he works hard after training, and again, our coaches do a good job detailing positionally what it's going to look like, giving him good offensive ideas. Again, tonight he did a great job. Getting off the line is something we talk about when you're under pressure, and his ability to navigate his direct opponent and now find solutions coming inside, whether it was short or far. It's a terrific job. He's going against obviously a pretty good attacker in his own right, and speed-wise, I don't ever worry about Johnny. Nobody's beating him, and he's gotten much better at being combative and understanding, his positioning. He did a great job recovering on the 1 play in the first half where they got in line on a bit of a wing progression. They cut it in front of goal, and he nipped it. But his progress and progression this year has been great. He's going to, obviously continue in that, to better understand some of the offensive ideas. But he's been a real bright spot for sure.
And then on Danny, with everything that he's been through coming back from what happened last year with injuries and stuff, is it maybe more rewarding or something to see him contribute the way he's doing? I know you've got a lot of position battles,
Sure.
and there's only one striker, but
Yeah.
is it rewarding especially to see him have the success he is?
I think so. I mean, we brought Danny here with the idea that, for me, the type of player that he is, technically with the ball, his ideas, his movement in the box, if healthy and given the time with our group, he'd score goals. And again, Maxi's come in and done a great job. Danny, unfortunately, last year had significant injury, and he's worked his way back in. And again, in training, he works tirelessly. He's one of our best guys in front of goal, so it's always nice to have him in his presence. But it's an emotional roller coaster when the game is taken from you in a heartbeat, like it is for some guys. It's frustrating and it's disappointing, but that hardens you. It certainly doesn't take away the lost time, but when you come back and you start performing, there's a real appreciation for the game again. And he's been doing a good job, and it's not just in training. Now it's reflected in the game with the limited minutes. And again, glad to see these guys contribute. We're going to need it. We're not even halfway through the season, and depth is something we lacked last year, and quality as well. So I like these problems. I like these decisions to have to make, and I like it even more as they're performing.
On corner kicks, is it Diego's call to do whatever he wants to do, or is there a strategy or philosophy that you would rather have him do?
There's definitely a strategy. I think there were some things we try to target, things that we feel we're good at. As things happen quick, ad-libbing on the fly, we got certain guys that you give the green light to. Diego's one of them, Sebastian's one of them, but we have certain things we look to do to be able to pull the opponent out or to exploit certain areas in front of goal. But there are moments now the game has tempo and energy, and maybe we have them under pressure. We go quick with things, but there's always strategy. We aren't just rolling the ball out there and just giving it a roll. But
any other questions for Josh?
Phil, you're biting at the bit there, bud.
There seemed to be a lot of creativity in the second half, a little bit more than, in my opinion, than in the first half. And what do you think the catalyst was to that?
Well, I think goals start to push the game in tempo. Goals, we always say, goals change games, and now you got to push forward a little bit more. There's an aggressiveness to our positioning and how fast and fluid we want to move through the opponent. And not that you're taking more chances, but you start to move into the attack in a different way. And again, the opponent starts to feel that, and get suppressed and get pinned back. And again, we start to take advantage of that. So I think it's just part of the game. But the second half tends to open up more in our league. There is fatigue that sets in. I think the way that we play, we feel there's a cumulative effect. By having the ball, by pushing the opponent, by stressing the opponent, so knowing that the second half games will open up, hopefully on our accord. So it was good to see. The reaction in the second half was excellent. Again, we moved some guys around that accented their qualities, and I think that helped out.
Do you think Digite played a role in that?
I'm sorry?
Digite, do you think he played a role in that?
He certainly played a role in that. He played a role in that. Again, I think Danny coming in gave us something. We moved Diego around again to get him a little bit, closer to Sebastian. We like those overloads, but all the guys contributed in a good way tonight, and it was a very good collective effort. And the only thing lacking was the third goal.
You have a couple of road games coming up. How do you plan to prepare for those?
We will plan as normal. We'll review this one and walk through what we thought we were extremely good at, some of the things that we can grow from. The games will come in a little bit of an odd schedule. Play a Thursday, then a Monday, then a Saturday. So we'll have to look to see where guys are physically, but some rotation in there. I don't plan to make a lot, but we'll see how guys come out of this game. And we go to Charlotte. They haven't lost, so we're well aware of their record there, and we'd love nothing more than to go there with some real intent.
Two quick notes. Cam and Emily will guide you guys into the hallway for the player availability. And then also, Austin FC and FC Dallas' Special Olympics unified teams are playing after the first team. So if you guys would like to stay, we'd love to have you. Please do. I know the players do as well. So appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys.